please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Sharp. They help you get the maximum value for your money.
I can hold on for the next 2 or 3 years.
ये सुधार, ये विश्वास, ये सफलताएं शायद उनकी नजर में मायने नहीं रखती।
Minister Narendra Modi tears into critics of the economy, says temporary slowdown exaggerated by pessimists, gives a detailed presentation of how macros are stable and compares his tenure versus UPA 2.
Can you have an economy where there is panic at 3.36%?
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley rubbishes fear of a high inflation, admits that the manufacturing sector has seen some stress due to destocking impact, but remains confident of smoother postures in the near term.
And Rajneesh Kumar to take over as SBI chairman from Arundhati Bhattacharya once the term expires. In exclusive chat, Kumar tells CNBC TV18 that improving asset quality and digitization are on top of his mind.
CNBC TV18 Newsbreak confirmed big boost coming in for M&M. The automaker matches Tata Motors e-vehicle price for government's EV procurement to supply 150 electric vehicles in the first phase versus the 250 vehicles by Tata Motors. In an exclusive chat with CNBC TV18, Pawan Goenka alleges that the current pricing of e-cars does not add up.
Well, Asian markets are more or less flattish early this morning after the positive close that we got in the US markets. Remember, a whole host of those markets are shut. The Chinese market, the Hong Kong market, as well as the South Korean market, all of them, lucky them, they are shut because of public holidays. But the Nikkei, that's as flat as can be. I think the Taiwanese index should come up for you. That was holding mildly in the green with a gain of around 0.3%. So let's pull that market up for you. That's the relative outperformer today. Otherwise, more or less flattish from the Asian markets. But what does it mean for SGX Nifty? Remember, we have had a 230-point rally in the last 4 trading sessions. And this morning, what it's indicating is maybe we'll see a bit of a pullback. And then interesting to see whether or not that dip is bought.
Okay, so mixed start in Asia, but across the Pacific, in the US markets, they closed at record highs following the release of strong economic data. The S&P 500 ended at a record, rising for a 7th consecutive session. Dow Jones as well closed at an all-time high as it eked out a small gain. While on the Nasdaq Composite, the gains were limited by a slump in technology shares. CNBC's Eric gets us a wrap of all the action on Wall Street.
U.S. markets finishing higher today. The Dow adding 19 points, the S&P up 3, and the Nasdaq higher by 2. ADP private payrolls rising by just 135,000 in September, a sharp decline from the 228,000 payrolls added in August. It's the worst monthly decline in hiring since last October. Despite this, private payrolls still beating expectations. The dent in September hiring comes after one of the worst hurricane seasons in the U.S. devastated Florida and Texas. Google revealing its latest smartphone today, the Pixel 2. Sales of the Pixel 1 disappointed due to competition from Apple's iPhone and Samsung's Galaxy. The Pixel 2 is expected to be priced at $650, in line with the cost of the new iPhone 8, but lower than the $1,000 price tag of the upcoming iPhone X. Are you feeling bullish on the U.S. economy? According to the latest CNBC All-America Economic Survey, a record 43% of respondents say the U.S. economy is good or excellent. That compares to just 23% who say things will get worse. The 4-quarter average for every major economic metric in the poll, economy, housing, wages, and the stock market, is at a record 10-year high. That's the action from the U.S. market. You have a good trading day in India. Back to Mumbai.
Okay, moving on then, Rex Tillerson vowed to stay on despite reportedly calling Trump, and I quote, a moron. The U.S. Secretary of State said he had never considered leaving his post, contradicting a news report. He refused to answer questions about the moron quote, though his spokesperson denied he had denigrated the president.
Well, in fact, the open markets, they ended slightly lower as investors, they continue to keep a close eye on the political events in the region. The Spanish IBEX remained under pressure as a constitutional crisis grows in the country. In fact, the stock market fell with Spanish lenders sinking to the bottom of the banking sector, and that has been a relative underperformer and it continues to be under pressure. Yesterday it was down close to around 3% or thereabouts. Well, let's focus on the big talking point in Europe. Well, Catalan president has kept the rest of Spain guessing if and when he will declare independence, prolonging the uncertainty over the breakaway region's ultimate card in its confrontation with the government in Madrid. Speaking in a televised statement, he reiterated an offer for mediated talks while attacking King Philip's condemnation of Catalonia's illegal referendum on Sunday.
This moment calls for mediation. I am ready to start a mediation process. I will repeat it as many times as necessary. Peace, dialogue, and agreement are part of the political culture of our people. However, the state has not given any positive answer to those offers that are on the table at this moment.
Well, shifting focus to the currency space now, the US dollar weakened as investors repositioned ahead of Friday's highly anticipated jobs report, but pared losses on a strong non-manufacturing report. Remember, improving US data along with the prospects of US tax cuts and the likelihood of Fed rate hike in December have boosted the US currency in the recent weeks.
Okay, then turning our attention to the world of commodities, then prices in fact are slightly low after a surprising jump in US crude exports to record 2 million barrels per day. That's what's giving some worries about global oversupply. Rising US crude production has held down WTI prices, while Brent's price has been heavily influenced by output cuts led by the OPEC.
And from the precious metal space, gold prices held on to a modest gain, recouping roughly half of their losses from a day earlier, even as a monthly climb in the US ISM Services Index to its highest level since mid-2005. Fed expectations for another Federal Reserve interest rate increase this year.